Hey there, Journal Gals. Welcome back, and thanks for joining me for some more journal play. Let's talk one little word today. Before I get into actually doing some play, journal play in my current one little word, I thought it would be fun to just take you on a little bit of a journey. I've been doing one little word now for maybe about 8 years with Ali Edwards Community. And I thought maybe before I get playing, I would take you for a little walkthrough in a couple of my previous years and then show you where I am so far for 2026. And I didn't pull out all my journals because it's just too many to go through. I want to keep this relatively quick, but I did want to give you just kind of an idea of, for those that do the project, to see kind of what I do in my flow. And for those that don't do the project yet, maybe this will encourage you to take this yearly journaling adventure journey on to join us. You can jump in anytime, but if not this year, then in 2027, maybe. It's literally one of my favorite journaling projects, but you're probably going to hear me say that about every journaling project I do because I love them all for different reasons. So anyway, I want to share a little bit with you about how I come up with my word for the year, which is no rocket science process. It's just literally wherever I'm at in my life at that particular time, coming up in like November, December timeframe prior to the new year. If I'm thinking one little word, inevitably a word comes to me that is appropriate for the timing of my life. And I don't usually question or change or alter. I sit on it for maybe about a week or two or three, and then I roll with it. And so, for example, I'm going to share with you 2020. And that my word for that year was brave. This was a really tough time in my life, as I recently had separated from a 27-year relationship. And of course, we were in COVID too. Crazy. So at the time, this was happening just prior to 2020. And brave, it felt like I was in some sort of transitional period of my life. And I needed to be braver than ever before with not only the journey out, but the journey back to me. And it just fit. So, anyway, this is just a glimpse in 2020. And there's just something really cool. Like when I pulled these out to pick the ones that I wanted to share with you, I was really delighted by going back through them and seeing the techniques that I used, the colors I chose, the creative ways that I brought it all together. And this was a time in 2020 that just a few years earlier, I had come to learn about traveler's notebooks and obviously completely fell in love with traveler's notebooks. And I hate to say I'm obsessed with them because I'm just over that phrase that everybody's using, but I am obsessed with traveler's notebooks and have been since I discovered them like 2016 or something like that. I don't even know. And so I did this 2020 in a traveler's notebook. And how I do it is like, I'm inspired with an idea, maybe a color, maybe it starts with the actual booklet, notebook that I'm going to do it in. Whoops. And then I run from there and I just let it flow. And there's no rules or anything to what this one little word project should look like, the journal, how it should turn out. There's no rules to that. It's completely, we're just following prompts throughout the year, but how your journal turns out is completely up to you. I just love to overdo everything when it comes to my journals. So this one, I just kind of felt, oddly enough, again, this was a really tough time in my life, but I just really went all out on this one. And I always get one of the one little word kits that's being offered, and then I'm just bringing together miscellaneous things from my stash. And I roll with how I'm inspired to bring it all together. So I'm just going to show you quickly through here because we could take hours to go through these things. This was, I believe, a letter to ourselves at that time. So I just created this letter on this really pretty paper. Another letter of some sorts that I wanted to do to myself. And I can't even remember now how I came up with, what to put in these tabs. I just go with however I'm inspired at the time. This is a complete mashup of all different kinds of digital papers that I was loving at the time that I got from Etsy. And I just, again, combined them with what was happening with One Little Word. These are elements that come from One Little Word projects, One Little Word kits. So all of these are just my response to the monthly prompt. And honestly, I'm pretty good about getting through everything. And at the same time, I don't, like any other journal, it doesn't matter to me if I finish or I don't. This was, oh, you know what? Let me show you this one real quick. I think this was 2020. Okay, so this was 2020. And my word for 2020 was breathe. Same year I got my first tattoo with the word breathe on me. Again, still 2021, still processing divorce after 27 years. So amazing to me that I could get this tuned into the journey of coming back to myself, and yet it was so needed. So this particular year, I did self-portraits every month. I don't do that every year, but it felt right for the year. And again, the kit and a mashup of various papers and ephemera that I already have in my stash. Nothing special. But at the same time, all of it's extra special. And this happened to be an Ali Edwards journal that was offered. And I believe this might have been just a blank journal that then I created for 2021. And my word for that year was heart. And it just, again, like I was in my journey of coming home to me. So it fit. And they just, again, they come to me. They're presented in mysterious ways and I just roll with it. And this particular year, I started out even trying to have like a heart in as many photos for the month as I could. This was I had a paper kit. I don't know. I had some sort of one of those big old paper books that happened to have all the months in them. So I just used it for my monthly stuff. And there's a lot less, I think, embellishing in this one. This felt a little bit simpler for me that year, which must have been what I needed. And I think I didn't even finish all the prompts of this year. We'll find out in a minute. Yep, see? Permission to not be perfect in these, okay? This is an inward journey. This is not about what the journals look like. This is about the content that goes into it, the exploration of ourself during the journey. It's never about what these look like. For me, I just get so much joy out of creating the actual journal itself. That's very much a part of the process for me. And I'm okay with that. But as you saw, there's times when it's a little more simple. I feel like this year, it's a little bit simpler than some other years because I already had this particular, this is the Kelly Ray Roberts Undated Planner. And I just love her artwork. So I chose to use this as the One Little Word this year. And I'm just tearing out what pages I don't need to make the space to accommodate the whole year of content. So this is where we are so far in 2026. My word this year is create. I have a tendency to be really good at choosing words that are very much internal. I wanted a word this year that is very much tangible and creation, because I'm in the process of very much of creating my life as this next chapter of my life as me now, not as a partner, a mother, and then Kalyani. This is about me. So I'm creating myself. I'm creating a whole new life for this next chapter of my life. I'm creating content, programs, and things in my business. So I felt really connected to something very tangible. Thus my word create. This is a letter to myself. And I love this year that I'm embellishing with some great stuff, but at the same time, there's so much here. So it just brings extra beauty to it that I don't have to do all that work. I'm doing a lot of creating right now. So adding the extra creation in here was a little bit redundant, I would say. But again, like I do any number of 10 plus journals at any given time. So this is all January here. And I am having a lot of fun creating in here and utilizing what's already available to me as part of the play of what I do. And this happens to have month-end reflections in every month, so it's kind of fun that I already have that. Okay, then we go into February. And again, for those of you that do one little word, you are familiar with what we're doing in each month. And those watching that are not, I'm just following the monthly prompts. These are my creative responses to the monthly prompts. It's different for everyone and how it comes together. In the month of March, we are in practice. So this was just me documenting very simply, practicing in the creative zone every single day. And then I have this tag in here. See, they were in there. What am I doing? I'm practicing. Thankful for the practice. Monthly reflections. And now we're going into April. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But these are the pages that I'm working with. And I will respond to the prompt for April. So you can get all the details in the description about how you can participate with us in One Little Word if you want to. I love this project. I think you would as well. And if you have any questions about One Little Word as a whole or my process of One Little Word, feel free to ask me in the comments. Okay, take care.